Hey guys, you want to hear the most annoying sounds in the world? Do it! Dumb and Dumber 2. So Dumb and Dumber 2 is the sequel, the much awaited sequel. I don't know if I call it.
I don't know about awaited. Anticipated.
I don't know if I call it anticipated either.
When it was announced.
When it was announced, yes.
It was anticipated.
Yeah, it takes place 20 years after the first Dumb and Dumber. 20 years after the first Dumb and Dumber. Everybody is back. J.F. Daniels and Jim Carrey back as Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn, along with the writer-directors Bobby and Peter Farrelly.
The Farrelly brothers.
Yes, and basically what happens is that Jim Carrey, Lloyd, has been faking a comatose state for about 20 years for a gag.
Just for a joke.
Just for a joke. So then Lloyd gets all cleaned up, the gang gets back together, and Harry finds out he has a daughter. They go track her down, and they get in their usual shenanigans, Dumb and Dumber style.
Always.
Oh yeah. I wasn't looking forward to this thing.
I was.
He was, because, I mean, even though I'm a big Dumb and Dumber fan, my main problem was that when I read about the movie, the director Peter literally said it's the exact same script. That was what I was afraid of. If you're a fan of the original, and if you know what you're getting into, you'll probably like this movie.
No, much better.
However, if you do not like the original, and if you're not a fan of this type of humor, stay away from this movie. Stay away. Yeah, because really the entire movie is just slapstick comedy with toilet humor. That's all it really is. There are some sparks, there are some little sprinkles of smart humor in there, here and there. Especially, the best thing about this movie, of course, is Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey back together. Seeing them back together, it was like seeing two great friends that back in elementary school reunited. That's how it felt to me.
Pretty much.
They're not as funny as they used to be back in the day, but you know, they're not as funny as they used to be, but it's still fun seeing them back together. It's still good. It's still fun seeing them back together.
Nostalgia, man.
Yeah, it
brings you back to when you first saw it.
That's the best way we can describe it. It's basically a nostalgia type of movie. And also, the thing is, you have to go in knowing what this movie is. You have to go into, because if you're not, you're gonna be pissed off. Yeah. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels have great comedy together. You see them, you don't see the two actors. You see Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn. You see the two of them back together.
In their whole little costume and everything.
Yeah,
pretty much everything about the...
Which was, the chipped tooth from Jim. And you see some iconic characters of the first one if you pay attention enough. Which we will not spoil, by the way. There's a lot of stupid moments in this movie. I mean, there are some that get you chuckling. There are some times where you almost want to roll your eyes. It's the Farrelly brothers type of humor. Peter directed parts of movie 43.
Yep, and he wrote it too.
Yep, and he wrote it.
Lots of parts of it. And
the two of them directed A Heartbreak Kid, Not the Wrestler. I hated that movie so much, but you know what? This was a nice little return to form, because Dumb and Dumber, the first one, was their very first movie. Their comedy is not what it used to be anymore, but still, seeing them back to what they did first, it's a nice little nostalgia trip. There were some parts of this movie where I didn't expect to laugh, where I really dug the first two acts, but I think in the third act, that's when it kind of started to lose me a little bit. But still, there were still moments where I was like,
forgot to mention one very awesome factor about this.
What's that?
Rob Riggle!
There was one
fart joke.
There was, oh my god, the fart.
You barely laugh at fart jokes, but this one you were bawling your eyes out.
Oh my god. It's like once a blue moon I laugh at fart jokes. This one particular fart joke.
It worked.
Oh my god.
To perfection.
I don't know what it is, but I lost. But other than that, guys, I mean, it's really a fun movie. You just have to go into it with the right mindset, with the right people to watch it. And also, watch the original before you see this one, seriously. Because if you don't watch the original, and if you don't know what you're getting yourself into, just stay away from this thing.
We'll say this, though. This is much, 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 much better than the prequel.
Thank you for not mentioning the name of it. Light years better than the prequel, light years better. Not nearly as funny as the original, but there are moments where you can't help but to laugh.
They're dummies.
Yeah, they're dummies.
Alright, I enjoyed this movie more than him.
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more than him.
Yeah.
And my dad enjoyed it too. I was pretty much laughing throughout the entire thing. I got all the jokes. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Like I said, I wasn't looking forward to this movie, but this movie did. It exceeded my expectations. I mean, it proved me wrong. It was surprisingly a really fun time. So I'm gonna give this movie a 3.5 out of 5.
There you go.
It was great seeing the two of them back together. Although it wasn't as funny as the first time, but you know what? Still watch the prequel, please, guys.
Unless you see the Bob Saget scene.
That's one good scene.
It's the only scene.
Alright guys, so that was our review for Dumb and Dumber 2. Coming up, let me know, or let us know, what is your favorite slapstick comedy of all time, if you haven't told me that already, and if you have, Say it again, or what's your second favorite? I don't
know.
Do
it again.
And until the next review, we'll see you guys next time.
Bite me, G. Colby.